Hi, I'm Ray.
And I'm Kathy.
And today we're doing a review of Thousand Trails Lake Tawakoni RV Park and Campground
In Point, Texas.
This is the entrance to the campground. Come up to the ranger station. You see the lane on the right is for the RVs, and then the lane on the left is through traffic with the gate code. They do accept packages here. You saw the UPS driver. However, there is a $5 charge per package, and they do not accept packages from the U.S. mail. Let this guy get through and see if the gate drops before I actually drive through. There we go. Once you come through the gate, we will take a left and go up towards the activity center. It's where the sales office, the manager's office.
It's where we play pickleball.
Where we play pickleball. They have their coffee socials. There's a pool, mini golf. Most of the activities are done down at the activity center. Go figure. The speed limit throughout the campground is 5 miles per hour. The side roads is 10 miles per hour. And they are very strict on speed limits here.
These are not the best roads. It is a gorgeous campground, though. We absolutely love it.
Yep. The roads are paved, but they're broken pavement. And doesn't appear to be any real effort to repair them. Of course, they want to keep the speed down anyway, so there are no, well, I started to say there's no speed bumps. I think this is the only speed bump in the whole campground.
I think so, too.
Right here in front of the activity center.
Yeah, I think the roads are so bad they deter speed.
Yeah, you don't need speed bumps.
You can't speed.
Throughout the campground because of the speed bumps. I mean, because of the bad roads.
Right.
So we're going to take a right here and go into the activity center area and give a quick walk through there. So this is the activity center, open daily 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. unless they are open at different times for other events, like the coffee social. Since we've been here on Tuesday mornings, is from 8:30 to 9:30. This area here you can see is covered. We do have a pickleball court It's on concrete, and the concrete is a bit smooth, so I don't know that I would be playing full bore pickleball wide open, but it's good to be able to at least have a court that you can play on some. And they do have cornhole set up here as well. They have a picnic table, and of course a lot of people's favorites is the mini golf. And you can see the mini golf is in really good shape. Also a pool with a hot tub, not currently in use today. It's been cool, and we've had thunderstorms recently, so not a lot of people in the park that we've been able to see. We do have sand volleyball, swing set, your typical playground area out here for kids. This is the main activity center. You see they do have foosball. They have a couple of video game consoles that are kind of cool, retro, small. Also have a Wii set up, and your typical board games, that sort of stuff. Coffee station.
Every Tuesday morning, we've been enjoying coffee.
Yep, which schedules are always subject to change, so.
Right.
But it has been Tuesday since we've been here. Haven't had any real food service type stuff since we've been here. I'm sure on major holidays they have those. This section here is where the manager's office is, the sales specialist, business office, activities director. Of course, the restrooms are back here around the corner. Everything here is super duper clean, and also have courtesy Wi-Fi here at the activity center as well as at the lodge, and bulletin board. And so that's the quick walkthrough for the activity center. Of course, they have bingo and crafts for the kids and those sorts of activities. So as we leave the main activity center and hang a right, we go down to this section. It's a relatively small section. I believe it is the I section. And I also think the boat ramp and dock is down in this area.
They also have storage here on the right.
Yep. Storage over here for both boats and RVs. And I think there's only one dumpster for this section. And yes, this is another one of those rough roads. I think maybe the boat dock is right there. We just passed it.
Yeah, I think it is too.
So we'll just do a quick cruise through here. Again, speed limit is 10 miles an hour on the campground outside the camping area, so like this road. But once we hang a right and go into the camping section, then the speed limit drops down to 5 miles per hour. And this is just one loop in this section here, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm. It's just so beautiful here with all the trees and the lake.
It does have kind of a state parks campground feel to it.
It does. Very nature oriented.
There are a limited number of 50 amp full hookup sites over in this area. Actually, on the entire campground, there's a limited number of 50 amp full hookups. You need to consult the campground map to find out exactly where they are. There are a few alongside the lake over in C section, but a lot of them, as you might expect, are seasonal sites. So there are a few scattered here and there that are available to Thousand Trails members that pass through, as we have.
Yes.
Here you see Lake Tawakoni.
So pretty.
It's a huge lake. I should do some research and find out exactly how big Lake Tawakoni is, but it's really, really big.
Yeah.
And we were just told, we were talking to the manager a bit ago, and we were just told that in the spring, the lake is subject to flooding. It only happens usually once a year in the spring, if that. But one year, was it last year? Or did he even mention when it was? It flooded so bad back here.
He didn't.
It was flooded so bad back in this section that it was up to, what, halfway up to the bathhouse, he said?
Yes.
And the bathhouse is right there. So that was a lot of water back here.
Yeah, they had to shut down the electric and evacuate everybody.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen often. Nice little section back here. There are a few spots back here with no trees. Sometimes people are concerned about storms and trees, for good reason. So that is that's the complete loop for this section, and I think this is I section. So we're gonna stop recording here, and then we're gonna head back towards the ranger station, and we'll take a tour of one of the other, what I call the outer loops. So the boat ramp is between I section and the main activity center. Quite a few docks over there, slips, I guess you call those. So it's a pretty good sized area, and it's behind the storage area, and of course they use the storage area over here off to the right as a area where you can park your boat trailers after you've loaded your boats or offloaded your boats. So now we're going to head back over towards the ranger station and other sections. So as you're approaching the ranger station from the activity center, the ranger station will be on your right. That's the exit. You also see the propane filling station. However, at least at the time of this recording, they are not refilling propane, either tanks, portable tanks, or rigs. There's a gas station just a few miles from the campground where you can have your rig or your tanks refilled, and that's where we've gone. So the ranger station's on the right. We're going to go straight across past the maintenance shop into the next section, which will be a little further down the road. So as we're headed back to this next section, on the left is a little pull out where a lot of people will disconnect their tows if they're towing behind their motor coach. And then it's also a baseball field right there. A huge field. It's almost a mile all the way around the field in the center of the campground. This section coming up on the right is where we will head. There's a warning sign here that says RVs over 35 feet not advised. It's pretty small back here. I think it's all 30 amp. And I think there's limited sewer back here as well. I believe this was the original section of the campground. There's a building back here as well that you'll see that is no longer in use, but still standing nonetheless. One thing about this section back here is it is full of trees. Again, smaller section, smaller vehicles. There's a 50 amp site right there. So there are some 50 amp sites back here, but again, you need to be in a smaller rig. Hiking trail is back this way. We just had thunderstorms, so the trails are really wet right now. Yeah, this is a very nice little spot back here. A nice point back by the old building. No RVs allowed beyond this point at all. And we're just going to swing through in front of the old lodge, the old activity center.
This beautiful lake.
And actually, you know what? I think I can go right through here. See if we can pull over closer to the lake. Yeah, we may not be able to drive all the way around, but
Lots of people fishing out here, either off the shore, not right now, but lots of boats out fishing too. Very popular fishing lake.
yeah, I understand the fishing is really good out here. As you can see, there's nobody camping over on this section right now.
I think the whole time we've been here, I think I've seen maybe one or two.
I haven't seen a lot of vehicles camped over here. I do see people parked over here from time to time, and I think there's a few picnic tables and things down by the lake on the point. There's a picnic shelter out here.
Yeah, a lot of people fish from here too.
They do. The road actually seems to be in better shape on this side than it does on the other side.
It is.
Probably because of less traffic.
Yes, I'm sure that's right.
And these were all parking spaces for the activity building whenever that was in use.
All those trees, it's just beautiful.
And there's only one very small loop through here. We'll swing through. There's actually a lot more 50 amp sites back here than I thought.
Yeah.
There's more 50 amp sites back here than there is on the big campground, looks like. And the majority of these are 30, 50.
But you can't bring a big rig back here.
Can't bring a big rig, and I don't see
Sewer.
any hookups for sewer on any of them either.
Nope.
Nice little area though. This
It is.
definitely has the state park feel to it.
Very pretty.
So we come back out of this section. I think this was, I'm not sure which section this was.
And at some point in the near future, they're going to be putting a disc golf course
Yep.
in the campground.
Got that in plan. And it's a huge campground. Plenty of room for a disc golf course. It would be nice if they would put in a real pickleball court somewhere too.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's nice to have the one with the concrete floor right there at the activity center, but it has been worn to the point where it's a little slick.
Yes.
And there's plenty of space out here to put outdoor pickleball court or two. I know this got this baseball field up in front of us here, and on the campground map it shows like it's a driving range out here on this field, but I haven't seen any evidence of any tees or anything for a driving range. It's definitely long enough.
It sure
And
is.
it's just about a mile all the way around this field. And this is the C section coming up. A lot of the lakefront camping is in this section. C.
This is where we were.
Again, there are a lot of annual sites or seasonal sites back here, especially right on the lake, backed up to the lake. And this section is very rough.
Yes.
Speed limit again, 5 miles an hour. Any faster than 5, you're going to be shaking and baking anyway. I won't drive up and down all of these areas on our left, but there are several streets, side streets with camping on them. Probably half a dozen or so.
Yep.
Between here and the main loop by the cabins. I don't remember how many sites are on this entire campground. I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 300, 339 or something like that. Again, you can check the campground map. Go to Thousand Trails website, look up Lake Tawakoni, and you can find all those details. And how many sites are available. You can see on that as well exactly where the 30-50 amp full hookup sites are. Most of these right here on the lakefront are 30-50 amp full hookup, which there is an additional nightly charge to Thousand Trails members if you use the 50 amp full hookup site. To be honest, I don't remember how much it was. It was either $3 a night or $5 a
It
night.
was $3 a night.
We'll just continue along this loop. A lot of campgrounds over in this, or campsites over in this part of the campground.
Yes.
And again, this was C section. I think this is still all a part of C section. Very woodsy.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really love the most about it. All the birds, the butterflies, just so beautiful.
And for the most part, the campsites themselves are wide enough not to provide, they don't give you any real trouble getting in and out. There are a few with the trees that are a little narrow, especially if you have opposing slide outs on your rig. I've seen people move 2 or 3 times when they're looking for a site when they come here for that reason, because the trees are too close together for them.
There's the lake again.
You should be able to see through the trees in front of us the cabins. I think there are 14 cabins here. 2 of them are 30 years old and the remaining 12 are 3 years old. So we have had experience with both since we've been here, and they're nice little cabins.
Mm-hmm. Serve their purpose.
So we'll take a right here in front of the cabins. This is A section. A section goes all the way down to the lodge. And once we get to the lodge, we will take you for a quick walk through the lodge. Hopefully there won't be too many people down using the courtesy Wi-Fi down there, so we can do a walkthrough without bothering anybody.
And you can see the lake from almost every point in the campground.
As you approach the lodge, over on the right side there is supposed to be an outdoor pickleball court. I think one of the latest storms probably took the net away. We were pleasantly surprised when we saw that there was a pickleball court there when we first got here. Even though we never played on it, it's a little windy and it's right there at the lake. So we're going to pull up here in front of the lodge. We're going to park it and we will go inside. Take a quick little walk through. So as we walk up to the lodge, this first door on the right is marked. It says no pets. This is the laundry facility. And there are people in there right now. So we won't go in there at this point. They have 4 washers and 4 dryers. We have a pool table. Let's see, little shoes. Pool table, puzzles, basketball, ping pong. Hey.
How you doing?
How are y'all?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hi. We have puzzles all over everywhere. So we have puzzles. Just a quick little walkthrough. Of course, we can come right back down these steps. You see here they also have a pool and hot tub and a bathhouse. So leaving the lodge, we will go back over to A section. There's only a couple more sections out in the whole campground. There's a 2.5 mile hiking trail here on our right. Of course, it's wet now. It goes down partially by the lake, but mostly through the woods. And this is actually the exit of the hiking trail. We'll go through here and see if we can dodge some of these mud puddles. Again, mixture of 30-50 amp full hookups and 30 amp full hookups. I think most all of these in this section at least have sewer. I'm not sure if they all have it or not. Most of them do.
We got a lot of rain the last couple of days, so Lots of standing water over in this section.
This is actually E section. A section was the cabins and back over that way towards the lodge. Looks like all of these have sewer.
Yep.
And they do have a dump station here at the campground for those sites that don't have sewer. To my knowledge, they do not provide any honey wagon services if you're here without sewer. Coming up here on the right is the entrance to the 2.5 mile hiking trail. See the wooden arch kind of indicating where the beginning is. And some of these sites back here are pretty large. I've seen Phaeton's parked back here.
Yep.
Seen Alliance Fifth Wheels parked back here. This is H section. We'll swing through this section as well.
Yep.
Here by the bathhouse. A couple of waterfront sites.
Yes. And apparently, in this part of the lake, people do a lot of fishing, and the workers here make sure there are no lily pads. Apparently, the lily pads can get out of control.
This is the last little section for us to go through. The entire campground.
Yep. It really is very pretty. And the staff here is wonderful too. That can make or break a campground.
Oh yeah. And they truly care about customer service.
Yes.
You know, they do what they can to accommodate you if any issues do come up. This is still H section. And there's a nice Phaeton tucked in back over here.
Yep.
Again, the site sizes vary. Like a lot of thousand trails, you just have to kind of ride around and find what suits you best when you get here. But most of the sites are pretty good size.
Mm-hmm.
So the dump station right here in front of us, and we're going to hang a right. We'll go back out by the main field, and that will conclude our drive-through of Lake Tawakoni RV Park and Campground. So, what do you think of Lake Tawakoni?
I absolutely have fallen in love with it.
Lake Tawakoni is awesome. We love the campground. There are things that could be done, you know, the roads and stuff, but it's the typical Thousand Trails campground roads. It's no big deal. It keeps the speed down, which is probably good.
Yes. All the nature. Listen to the birds.
You can hear the birds. Yep. Management staff is awesome.
Yes.
They're as good as or better than any we've run across in our last year of camping at Thousand Trails. So
Absolutely.
highly recommended. We would definitely stay here again,
Yes.
and would recommend it to anyone else. The only real downside, and again, not a fault of the campground, is their location and proximity to cell towers.
Right.
If you're using T-Mobile or Visible, which Visible is Verizon, your cell signals are not going to be really good. My understanding is AT&T works really well. There is a camp Wi-Fi, the Camp Link, which is pretty much used in a lot of the Thousand Trail systems that you pay as you go, or pay daily, weekly, or monthly.
Yeah.
It would probably be okay for, internet surfing, not recommended for streaming. So that might be an issue for you if you're trying to work full time and don't have your own internet service.
Yeah.
They do provide courtesy Wi-Fi at both the lodge and the activity center.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, everything else has been great.
Yep.
We would highly recommend Lake Tawakoni RV Park and Campground.
In Point, Texas.
Listed in Point, Texas, although it's closer to East Tawakoni. The mailing address is Point, which you know how that goes.
Yeah.
So until next time.
See ya.
Bye.